These are Jewish students at the Cooper Union College who've been locked up inside the library for their own safety as a mob of anti-Israeli protesters blocked the doors. Let's put the visuals back on our screens. Okay. Now what we've been seeing, Group Captain Jha, is that in free societies, not in China, okay, not in Russia necessarily, but in democracies, in the UK, you had people shouting jihad on the streets, gathering in their hundreds of thousands. In the US, they've stormed the Capitol Hill. We've seen at least one murder that has already taken place in the Low Countries in Northern Europe, and high alert there. Now there is a polarization that is taking place in societies, in school campuses, on streets. In Sheffield, somebody climbed the top of the council building and tore down an Israeli flag and planted a Palestinian flag. It's called extreme polarization. Now imagine if you are a Jewish student studying in a college and you've been barricaded into the library, your life is under threat, and this is not happening in the West Bank, it's not happening in Gaza, this is happening in a university in the US. How do we handle all of this, sir?
All the pieces of the puzzles are there before us. It is only a matter of putting in the places. See what is happening right now. Let us not get succumbed to the ultra short memory. Do you recollect just 3 years back when Taliban had done the complete genocide of Hindu and Sikhs in Afghanistan? There were celebrations here in India. Most of the Muslims, they went wang ho for Taliban. They justified it. That time there was no G20. There was no economic corridor. There was nothing. Look, right now, whatever is happening, it is not happening in the isolation. The hate and intolerance between, let's name it now, Islam and the others are too much evident, and it is everywhere. It is not happening in the US. The day Hamas came to Israeli land on 7th of October, 8th morning, Rishabh, most of the nations there, whosoever was the Muslim, it was not only Palestinians, whosoever was the Muslims, they celebrated on the road that Hamas has gone inside Israel and did rape, did burns, did abduct, did kill.
Yeah, but again, this is where we get stuck in generalization. When we say most, what do we mean? India has a population of 200 million Muslims, and very little of such happenings are happening here for sure. And there are many people who say, well, what about the Israelis? They've been occupying the West Bank for these many decades. These many Palestinian children have been killed in the past 6 months. So I don't want to run away from the complexity of this. The question that I was trying to address was, you are seeing polarization, and polarization by definition means that you are going to see increased Islamophobia, and you are going to see increased threats against Jews, more protests, more political divisions, more societal divisions, more communal divisions all over the world. And this creates a problem for every government, every police force in places that are far away from Israel and the Gaza Strip. And this benefits whom? Group Captain Devnath, who benefits from this?
Answer lies in encouraging the moderates and the soft parties all over the world. There are certain religious background parties in various Muslim countries who are extreme version, who want to follow extreme version of Islam. These people are in minority in most of the countries. There are lovely, beautiful Islamic countries like Malaysia, like Indonesia. Even in Europe, there are many Muslim countries where Muslims are in majority, but they, in a structured manner, encourage the moderates and the soft people, the soft politicians to rise. Look at India. We have got a sizable number of Muslim population in India. probably one of the largest in world. But most of them are very, very educated, and they feel proud that they are Indians.
No,
And
no,
they,
Group Captain Devnath, Muslim education in India might be relevant. Many people will argue, that's exactly the opposite of what you're saying. Mahathir Mohamad was anything but a soft politician who was Prime Minister of Malaysia until just a few months ago. So there is a complexity to it. I'm just trying to understand that if it is becoming a major issue in the UK, in the US, in Europe, if there is a rise in communal divides which creates policing problems, which means that maybe schools have to be shut and colleges have to be shut and high alerts need to be sounded, who benefits from this?
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.